Dancing has always been a passion of mine even before I knew how to walk. From ballet class to drill team, my love for dance has only continued to grow. My drill team boots remind me of all the good things dance has brought into my life, the lifelong friendships built, my personal growth, and the unforgettable memories made. I will begin by telling you about the cherished friendships dance has provided me with. After many long days of hard work and always trying to find new ways to bond as a team, sleepovers were always the answer. We gossiped just as any teenage girl would. We stayed up through the night coming up with the ideas for new routines. Friday nights were especially our favorites. After a full day of preparing for those Friday night lights and once we stepped off that football field, we would wind down our crazy day with some much needed girl time. There were always the occasional jokes about how we as a team saw each other more than we saw our own families. With 2 week summer camps soon after school had ended and 2 week summer camps prior to school starting, our summers were practically non-existent. 12 hours spent on dancing on a daily basis for 4 solid weeks became the norm for us. Along with the countless hours of rehearsals, along came the blood, sweat, and tears. Learning not only brand new routines in short periods of time, but hard ones at that definitely became a challenge for many of us. But through the blood, sweat, and many tears, we helped each other overcome any and every obstacle. Now that I've shared a little about the friendships built within my years in dance, now I will share with you the personal growth I've experienced within dance as well. With new routines to learn every week, it almost became inevitable that my long hours of practice would consist plenty of me pushing my limits. I had to learn how to work through my stubbornness and teach myself to never give up, even when things seemed like they would never work or some steps would never stick. Eventually they did. Being a dancer all my life, I realized there were always new things to learn, whether they were new steps or new techniques, anything for the purpose to spice up our routines. Learning new techniques was definitely a challenge in itself, but with the help of many of my teammates and a dance teacher always willing to lend a helping hand, my technique grew better and better time and time again. The downside of dance was always the criticism that came along with every performance. Being young and naive, I always took these kinds of comments the wrong way, but with time I began to appreciate them. Criticism was the foundation of improvement within dancing and myself. So far, you've learned about the growth that has blossomed within myself through dance. The last thing my boots remind me of is all the memories made wearing the boots. It's almost inevitable that after all those countless hours practicing day in and day out, memories would be made. Summer camps were always personally my favorite. Lunchtime consisted of all of us sitting in a huge circle, talking and playing games to get to know each other. Field practice on the band field resulted in funky tan lines that we made fun of each other about endlessly, and 12-hour practice days always meant tons of laughter and lots of hard work. Performance trips to Houston were always bittersweet. It meant leaving the comfort of our beds to sleep in what usually seemed like the most uncomfortable beds ever. But we made do and always made the best of our Houston trips. The Friday night lights still shine bright even in my memories. The pre-game routine before we performed as we welcomed our football team onto the field in the beginning of every game. The prayer circle that eased any and every anxiety that fell upon us before any halftime routine. The halftime routine itself that after countless hours of practicing and pushing ourselves ended in. And when the crowd clapped and yelled at the end of each halftime, it made it all worth it. With the help of my drill team boots, I have told you a little about myself. Dance has brought many positive things in my life, such as friendships, aided in my personal growth, and has left me with some unforgettable memories. The friendships built that I will carry with myself until I'm old and senile. My personal growth, which has helped shape the hardworking woman I am today. The amazing memories and stories I will one day bore my grandchildren with as my grandparents once did with me. Everybody should find that one hobby that they love and just stick to it. Without even realizing it, hobbies help shape who you are and provide you with some of the greatest memories you will hold on to for the rest of your life, as dance has done for me.